Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High, meet a Clintonville resident who offers daily porchside concerts.
Crisis came. I think I, like everybody, wanted to, what can I do?
Then we'll take you behind the scenes of this year's virtual 934 Fest.
Well, we're virtual for the first time. We didn't plan on it.
This and more right now on Broad and High. Hi everyone, I'm Kate Quickle and welcome to our 8th season of Broad and High. And what a year it has been. With so many venues and performance spaces still closed, so many local artists have found innovative ways to share their love of creating with the Central Ohio community, all from a safe distance, of course. And so that brings us to our first story tonight. We ventured out to Clintonville, where we found Tom McCain giving daily music concerts from his front porch above the Overbrook Ravine.
We live in this really incredible house on the edge of Overbrook Ravine, and across the ravine is City Park. Crisis came. I think I, like everybody, wanted to, what can I do?
Some come to play.
I'd remembered the Italians out singing, you know, and New York City, there were people out singing, and I said, well, what do I do? I got a porch. It's too far for anything they throw to hit me, you know. I'll just see, you know, what happens. And that was middle March, and I pretty much played every day.
There's a meeting here tonight, great God, I'm glad you came along. Hope all your brothers and your sisters here can help me sing this song.
I'm playing an auto harp. I was totally self-taught. It is probably the easiest instrument to play immediately because the chords, you just push a button and you get a A or a C.
Let's hear it, meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face, and there's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here Hi guys, meeting here tonight. I'm Tom on the porch.
You make your list when you retire, the things you want to do, and one of them was I really wanted to get to play the thing well. And so I went and found Brian Bowers, who's the world's greatest auto harpist, and he invited me to come out and stayed with him for a week, and it really changed. Oh, I was playing the thing wrong.
And the sons of Pullman porters, the sons of engineers, they ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. And mothers rock their babes to sleep, rocking to the gentle beat, the rhythm of the rails on they feel. Oh, good morning, America, how are y'all? Hey, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen, from down the mountainside.
Got to Ireland and started reading about its history, and as an Irish American we used to sing who threw the overalls and Mrs. Murphy's chowder and those kinds of things. But the more you learn about the history of a place and realize what poets and songwriters there have been in that country for forever, you really get attracted to it. And Ireland was occupied for 800 years by some other invader, essentially. And they've only been a country since 1931. Lots of troubles, lots of war songs, lots of immigration songs out of the famine. So I started learning a lot of the repertoire and fell in love with both the sad songs as well as songs about the trauma of becoming a country and of becoming a rural, agrarian place into being, one of the really successful countries in the European Union now. Well, one of the songs I really love in the Irish repertoire is called Come by the Hills. We have a friend, Harry Long. He took me to one of these passage tunes in the north of Ireland. There are 400 of these. They're sort of like Stonehenge is a passage tomb. It has the lighting up the interior and all of that stuff, and the astronomers. Well, Ireland has tons of these, mostly across the middle northern part of the country. Our friend took us to this passage tomb, and he went to the farmer's house and he got the key, and we went and climbed up a little hill and got into this ancient place that was like a temple. We don't quite know how old the one I was in was, but it could have been 4,000 years old because they were made before the pyramids of Egypt. The sound was perfect, and I'd heard him sing this song, Come by the Hills, to his daughter the night before, and I said, let's play it. So he starts playing it, and I started playing along, and I learned the song there after about an hour and a half. It also has, just the best line about Ireland. The cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Isn't that nice?
And the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Isn't that a nice sentiment, huh? You just feel being in Ireland there. Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all those great things we would do.
Just when I think I'm lonely, I'm there all by myself, somebody comes by and waves and keeps on going. Or a family comes and starts to play in the creek. Or horns start honking. I remember one time a car went by and it had a sunroof, and 4 hands came up and, waved at that.
Yes, those were the days.
We all have this difficult time now where we're all, I think, becoming to realize, at least I have and most of my friends, that it will never be the same again. We can't go back any place because back is gone. So I've been opening up and being a different person during this process, and I've seen the people who come, the regulars, who are changing and have a little lighter load. And I just recommend that people do something, that they can share and maybe brighten somebody else's life. We need it.
La 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 la. Those were the days. Ah, yes, those were the days. That's all, folks. Thanks for coming. See you tomorrow.
It's been heartbreaking this year as so many cherished annual events have been canceled due to the pandemic. It all began with the Arnold back in March, and soon after, events fell like dominoes. We lost the Columbus Arts Festival, ComFest, Oktoberfest, and now even the Nutcracker is on hiatus. But as everyone started to master Zoom and live video streaming, many artists and organizations got crafty and started to present virtual experiences, as was the case of this year's recent 934 Fest in the Milo Grogan neighborhood. An incredible group of dedicated volunteers managed to pull off a technological feat to bring this annual music and mural festival right to your home. Here's how they did it.
We have a total of 36 murals, which is an annual exhibition of public art that runs from September to roughly around June, when we completely prime all the walls and get ready for the next set of murals. 934 Fest is our premier arts experience every year, an opportunity to reach out to the neighborhood and invite them into our space. We do that by creating the murals, by having live music, performers, comedians, spoken word, all for free. In light of the current pandemic, we understand the value of having accessible arts as a way to uplift neighborhoods, as well as to provide voices for the artists.
All right, in 5, 4, 3.
Well, we're virtual for the first time. We didn't plan on it. And so what was really important to us, and what we thought was really important to the focus and the feel of the festival, is to make it not like any other virtual fest you've seen so far, where we're combining virtual live performances on our stage with pre-recorded content. And we are having a partnership with Endeavor Brewing, so you can actually get beer and a 934 Fest signature cocktail delivered to you or pick up at the brewery. So we've got 12 bands scheduled. We've got over 30 murals to showcase. We've got 5 comedians, 5 spoken word artists from Maroon Arts Group performing, and then just like tidbits and fun stuff all day long. We're trying to get every angle of the festival, so you literally get a full fest experience from wherever you are.
The outside mural is 74 feet long, or wide, about 20 feet tall, and most definitely the biggest and first time I've done something that big, which is pretty awesome. So the scene kind of continues an earlier body of work from this year, Art About Making Artwork. So there's a lot of my kind of already established characters that I use, and so these are just a bunch of artists working on one bigger mural outside. So today at the festival, for every donation over $5, I believe they're counting it as a raffle ticket. So you can donate $5 multiple times or increase your donation, and yeah, hopefully get a chance to win an original piece by me.
We're ready to announce the winner right now. Ready?
The winner of this amazing Daniel Rona is Ian Jacob Wolf. Ian, congratulations. Give it up for Ian.
Woo!
We are 100% volunteer run and a not-for-profit art gallery, and what my team does stands out amongst all the other offerings that you're going to see here in Columbus, and I could not be more proud of them.
I'm really excited for our volunteers who get to be here and produce it and get to see all the bands live. So I think being a volunteer is probably the coolest part about the festival.
Thank you all for tuning in with us here and connecting virtually. We love seeing all the interaction with you guys online. We are sending you big virtual hugs. And now we would like to welcome to the Cover My Meds stage a returning 934 Fest performer, Mungby.
Even after 934 Fest is over, we're still going to have the Outdoor Gallery annual exhibition up through the rest of 2020 and well into 2021. So please come to the 934 Gallery campus and check it out.
We're just grateful, I think, to offer this opportunity to the community, and I think everyone's just really excited to make it happen.
It's been one heck of a day, if I can say that.
12 bands got on a real stage in front of a few folks with masks on. I think if you're at home, you should be clapping right now for the production of this fest. Insane!
We're here at Endeavor Brewing and Spirits in Grandview, located on 5th Avenue. I think we try to do a pretty good amount of community service here as far as like art. I mean, brewing is an art. Creating cocktails is an art. I went to culinary school, like pairing flavors and doing all those things, that's an edible art in itself. So I think we're kind of in that wheelhouse all together, you know? So we're making the Blueberry Smash. It has our vodka that we distill here on premise, blueberry basil infused simple syrup, Saint Germain, fresh lemon juice, and it's topped with champagne. So we're gonna start with the vodka first and go ahead and measure out 1.5 ounces. Next, we're going to be using Saint Germain, or any sort of elderflower liqueur will work for this. And this one is going to be 3/4 ounce. Okay. The syrup we're using is a blueberry basil infused syrup. And to make a simple syrup, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So you're gonna do 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup water. We add 1 cup of blueberries and about 10 basil leaves. You put that all in a pot and you let that sit, you simmer, you get it up to a boil, take it off and let it cool, and then strain the blueberries out. Half of a lemon is about the same as 1/2 ounce. It's always best to use fresh if you're able to when it comes to any sort of citrus. Put a little bit of ice in, and you can shake it. We're gonna use a Collins glass and we're gonna put it on the rocks. Your ice should sit a little bit above where your cocktail falls, and this is gonna be where we top it with Prosecco or champagne or soda water. And we're gonna put some of those blueberries on top of the cocktail. And then we garnish this cocktail with a lemon wheel. And this is it, the Blueberry Smash.
Work by Columbus artist Daniel Rona will be on view at 934 Gallery until October 24th. And the murals can be seen anytime around the perimeter of the building. Visit 934gallery.org for times and details. And if you don't want to make that blueberry smash at home, hop on over to Endeavor Brewing and Spirits in Grandview, where they'll be happy to shake one up for you at the bar. Our next story takes us to the studio of Urate Phillips in Marion Village on the south side of Columbus. When she was a 12-year-old schoolgirl growing up in Lithuania, she wrote on a postcard that she wanted to be an artist when she grew up. Well, now she's doing just that. Here's her story.
I grew up in Lithuania and came to the United States in 1997. We did not have crayons there in ex-Soviet Union. But Mom saw that I had something. Some paintings are more abstracty and some are more, representational, and I paint, landscapes and florals, and I, take a lot of photos of sunsets, and I am just obsessed. And every night I run in the attic and I take a picture of that day's sunset, and then I want to portray on the canvas what I saw, but it's not my intention to replicate what I just saw. But I want to, interpret that it goes, through me, through my lens. It's like the whole emotion. I think is important in today's digital, world. I think when is everything, printed prints and all, you look as, it's important that paintings were tactile also. It's just not, flat, and you can touch it. And I play with different, levels of textures. I rarely use paintbrushes. I use all different alternative methods, and I am mainly painting with my hands. I run to the sink like many times just to wash my hands. When I was 12 years old, we had teacher's aid. At the end of her session, she gave little cards that she said, well, write your dreams. It's like who you want to be, or look into your future and date yourself. And this is my card, and on the back, it's like I wrote it, I want to be an artist. That's it, I knew 1983. It's not a job, or I can say it's the best job ever. I'm living my dream.
You were the hologram.
See more of Irate's artwork at gourmetartstudio.com. You can also find her on Instagram. That's our show. Remember, you can find all of our stories online at WOSU.org, as well as on our free WOSU mobile app. And be sure to give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're closing out the show today with music from Columbus's very own October Ember. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.
As it formed, you were the pentagram, but my devil's the storm. You were the mirror that distorted my face. You made me see clearer. I'd fallen from grace. You were 1,000 tiny embers that could never keep me warm. You were the raindrop, but my devil's the storm. You were the jester when I was locked in the tower, while I was sequestered. You would tunnel for hours, that you broke the bricks of my prison with your shank forged from a spoon. You lit up.
I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. I moved to Columbus about 10 years ago. I'd like to describe my artwork as like ghetto hieroglyphics is the term that I've dubbed it. In my kind of philosophy is that graffiti and ancient hieroglyphics are kind of one and the same. So I incorporate elements of both, even though they're very stylistically different. I try to meld the two styles. I like to go out and use spray paint out on like abandoned places and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. I also like to make stickers out of like recycled like vinyl material. People throw out old like sticker scraps, and I like to paint on top of that and make my own stickers. I like to block print.
I incorporate a lot of herons and cranes, and in a lot of different mythologies, herons and cranes are like kind of symbols of like connectors between this world and like the world beyond. I also incorporate the thunderbird a lot. It's kind of the thing that I'm known for. And like thunderbirds are like really sweet, like Pacific Northwest Native American tribes incorporate the thunderbird, and they're kind of like messengers from the gods. And they're like symbols of like power and something like, for myself personally, for a long time I wasn't the most self-confident person, so I've kind of taken the idea of the thunderbird, this really powerful, majestic beast, as a bit of a mascot, as something that I strive to be. So I kind of, as an artist, wanted to create my own mythology, but still reference the things that universally we all can relate to. We're distracted a lot by like social media, like we live in kind of a trying time right now. I think there's a lot of lessons we can learn from like ancient myth and stuff. People, we're kind of dumb. We do the same things over and over again. Hopefully soon here we'll learn our lesson and love each other a little more.
Catch Columbus at its creative best on Broad and High, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock on WOSU TV.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.